Most well-known StarCraft 2 casters of all time. Been doing it forever, so Tasteless is Day9's older brother, so there you go. But that's not what's important. What is important is telling your friends that this is going down. This is the Intel Extreme Masters Season 5 European Championship, brought to you by Level Up YourGame.net.
I'd like to say it's more of a contribution of Four Seasons Gaming, Quake Live TV, Level Up, and Live on 3, DJ, pretty much everything.
We got mad love for everyone.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
just a mad collaboration. It's actually pretty cool now that I think about it. We've got, like, in this Mumble channel, we've got, like, everyone from Quake Broadcasting representing. Alright.
Except
awesome.
the beard guy. The beard guy. I've heard about him. I haven't really listened to any.
I gotta
podcasts,
say,
the beard guy.
I
like
beard
his production.
He's pretty good, isn't he? Like,
he's got a pretty nice setup. I don't know if his Quake casting is what it could be, but he's got a really nice setup.
yeah, I think it's that commentary style that's just like quick and straight to the point. You know, doesn't over-analyze things, but will put questions into your head so you think about it at least.
Apparently I overanalyze the shit out of things, so I'm trying to work on that. An NVC is just perfect, right?
I wish. I am primarily a TDM commentator, so half the stuff I say probably doesn't sound plausible, but I'm sure people hopefully appreciate it from all of us. But Toxic has joined the server. Baz also joining. I guess he's spectating from another computer over there. Have you seen any pictures of the arena where the players are sitting? So?
Yeah, I actually haven't seen the tournament areas so well.
Yeah, I guess you've seen the stage, or...
But actually, I'd like to use this opportunity to plug a couple of my friends who are putting together a website called ESLIworld.com. They actually have a lot of really nice coverage going down. They're really new into the esports broadcasting, or not broadcasting, but media scene. But if you go over there, you can see they have a page set up for IEM Kiev, the European Championship, and you can go and just check out pictures, articles, scores. All the stream information is there as well, so definitely go check that out. Maybe you can bring up some pictures right now.
Well, live here, maps are going to be Dismemberant, DM30, and Hectic. So, probably, if I was going to choose a map or to commentate, it wouldn't be my ideal favourite, but Hectic always produces good games. DM13 likewise, if you appreciate that sort of plus-back style. And Dismemberant, what we're on here, Noctis' favourite map. Interesting to see, I say favourite map, it seems to be his favourite map at the tournament. Said he was playing a little bit worse with the monitors on here, especially in the close range fights we saw yesterday. He didn't really get that many opportunities to fight close range, but we are going live here. So just again, this is the ESL IEM 5 European Championship Finals, Noctis vs Toxic, first map Dismemberant. Please take it away, Mick, if you are in the server watching.
Well, Toxic was fortunate enough to spawn down on top of that red, but Noctis spawned right next to him with the rocket launcher, so straight away dealt damage instantly on him, and he's got no weapon to defend himself. Tried to go for the LG, but Noctis was there first, not grabbing that mega straight away, so that was really smart play. And look at that, a spawn frag, 2 frags already early to Noctis. I'd say, like you said, if it's his favourite map, he's going to be feeling really confident right now.
Yeah, and definitely has something to prove from yesterday as well, which is only going to be aiding his performance. I'm interested to see, yesterday, but fairly low score lines, to start off the game. I'm wondering what Noctis is going to need to perhaps keep it sort of a sure victory. I'm thinking maybe 5 frags, but we'll see how it goes as they are fighting in this corridor just after picking up the Mega, and Mega is spawning in a few seconds as well. Let's see as Toxic moves back towards it for the rail shot.
Oh, that rail could have been pretty important if he had hit it, but he didn't. And wow, Noctis making a brave move to drop down. Sorry, Toxic making a really brave move to drop down there and hitting a direct rocket on Noctis. He had plenty of time to dodge that one. I'm not sure why he just stared at it.
In TF2, we call that first map syndrome. Everything always goes wrong in the first few seconds, and then usually pick it up. Noctis finally actually going to pick it up straight away as gets caught out on that bounce pad. Red armor spawning in a few seconds. I think Noctis is going to move back towards Mega for the additional health over armor.
Yeah, it was interesting you were saying that Noctis wasn't feeling too comfortable with the monitors. You know, I can understand that he wouldn't be able to hit so many direct rockets, but right then, they were beautiful. So I guess maybe he's either had some practice on it or adapted to them by now. So hopefully, you know, day 2 he's got his harder opponent, Cypher, coming up later on in the day. So hopefully, you know, he can take that one. Well, he's going to need to apparently. So.
Yeah, maybe one of the reasons why Faz is on the server actually may jump straight in and practice with him afterwards. I don't know. Noctis is by that red armor. He's going to have to charge back towards that Mega. Not Toxic will be unable to challenge, assuming he can get out of there. No, actually, he can't get out of there. Enough damage and that rail will finish him off. Toxic may be able to get on this Mega through this telly.
Yeah, really nice play there from Toxic. He's dealing damage, and Noctis is just sticking around, I feel, too long. And like again, you know, Noctis again too long. If he hits a rail here, he could die, and he's just sitting there, sort of baiting the frag. So, I just think Noctis is maybe a little bit overconfident, or maybe just giving it away.
Yeah, right now as well, Toxic's the only one with that rail in hand. Perhaps he can even deny Noctis of it for at least the foreseeable future, and if he can do that, Noctis really going to be unable to stop Toxic if he comes flying in for the Mega and hits a rocket like that, as he jumps over to pick it up.
Looks like Toxic's pretty well trained on the map as well. You know, his path to Mega there was pretty smart, and he was expecting a trap. And right now, Noctis has just been bullied off both major items for the last minute. Actually, he's got no items at all. So hopefully, Toxic will be able to push in for a kill in the next 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, Noctis does have that railgun now as well. And just to surely mention, I was commentating some Australian Quake Live with you the other day. How important is that railgun over in that scene? Do the players use it a lot?
Yeah, definitely. It's you know, the players sort of figured out it's key on a lot of the new maps. You know, Hectic and obviously Aerowalk coming into the pool now as well. So yeah, the railgun's heavily used in Australia, and that's why I guess we're so good with it. But wow, close quarters fight. Toxic not being able to hit his rockets, and Noctis comes out the victor with that mega health advantage. Well, the mega health just picked up slightly before the fight.
Yeah, strange move for Toxic there to just walk through the doorway toward Noctis when Noctis had that full weapon set. And yeah, basically gifting the frag just before this mega health, which Toxic shouldn't really be able to get onto.
Yeah, he's got to be careful there, even sitting by the teleporter. And I mean, Noctis is the type of person that'll just leave an item up, chase down the frag, you know, and then pick up the item after and get the full reward from it. So, very smart player, and he looks a little bit more switched on now. And over the first sort of minute of the game when he didn't have the best start.
Yeah, and that 5 frag advantage is suddenly looking to be very comfortable. It's not just moved toward that mega health. Both players have a time on it for pretty much the entire game so far, which is, I don't know, it's almost interesting to see. No player has really just settled for the red armor. That's what we saw yesterday in the dismembered matches, where a player would pick up the mega and the yellow, and the other guy would just settle for red. Actually, Toxic moving back for it there, and I'm not sure if he had the time. I think he has an approximate on it at least.
Yeah, well now he's collected it, now he will have the time, and Noctis should be able to guess it's obviously the next item. A little bit of a trap there from Noctis, a nice rocket to set him up for the kill on ground level, and there we are, 8-2. It's really getting away from Toxic now. He's just playing a little bit too aggressive. You know, he played a smart move there to leave Mega and go collect red, but then straight away he sees Noctis and he's ready for a fight, you know, understacked, and the Noctis hits the first, you know, rocket, that's it, you're already disadvantaged.
Yeah, and that's going to be very interesting going into second map as well, DM13, where taking fights without sort of 150 yellows if you're not in control is always risky. So I'm interested to see how he's going to carry through his game style into that map. But obviously he picks DM13, so if he does lose this one, which is looking quite possible now at 9-2, then yeah, I'm hoping he'll switch it up.
Yeah, I mean, Noctis is playing a really rocket-heavy game at the moment. Toxic's been trying to sort of peak rails where he can, and then, I don't know why, he gets out the LG and I think, too close quarters, and that's why Noctis is sort of taking him down so quickly in fights, because Rockets will win over LG in any fight. But there we are, Toxic finally decides to stick with the rocket launcher and picks up a frag very comfortably, actually.
Yeah, that's going to be in Zero QL's next frag movie. I think that was quite nice. So he has picked up a third, may even be a fourth here as Noctis is stuck in that room. It's probably a good idea not to push through and wait for Noctis to come out, because of course Toxic has no armor right now, and doesn't matter how much health you've got, if you've got no armor, literally will be stripped down in a matter of milliseconds. Mega spawning in 7 seconds, Toxic waiting around for it. Noctis also has the railgun in hand as well, managed to hit that. One more rail will finish him off at 80 damage a shot.
And he played that pretty smart there, you know, he just waited around, and Noctis didn't get a feel for it. He didn't sit there and watch the Mega, and Toxic jumped when he wasn't looking. And then Toxic straight over to the red, you know, serious game face on, he's just caring about the items right now. Noctis setting a nice little trap though, and yeah, the red, you can be cornered so easily, and I suppose that's what Noctis found before, and Toxic's finding out now that, you know, the red's kind of like the Mega on Hectic, you know, you can get cornered and then stuck there, and then, you know, it's just a waste of the item basically.
Yeah, I remember watching Noctis yesterday. Similar situation, just sat there standing still, and his opponent could do nothing really but run away. And obviously, as he ran away, picked up all the other items, and Noctis stayed alive. But they are going to meet on this bounce pad here. 10 of 5 now, just picking up another one. And at the rate they're exchanging frags, I think this one's over. But you never know. Still 2.5 minutes in it, and wow, going to pick up the spawn frag maybe.
Yeah, Toxic's rockets seem really nice from a distance, but up close, you know, he's once again getting out the lightning gun. When he was on that launch pad there when he died, you know, 2 or 3 frags ago, I mean, Noctis just completely understacked, just charged with rockets, and, you know, landed 2 nice ones, and Toxic was down, and all he had was the LG. All he was battling out is the LG, and, you know, he's going to lose that fight every time on the launch pad.
Yeah, certainly. And the thing Noctis is doing now very nicely is just staying up a level and just letting Toxic almost take these items, not for free, he's challenging them a little bit, but he's making sure that as Toxic escapes, he does the damage. Like, just look at this, just not even moving around the map, really.
Yeah, and I say it's probably garbage time now. I think Noctis has gotten too much of a lead going. I mean, Toxic had him there for a little while, but I think he got a little bit hot-headed, I guess, and pushed in for frags where he probably shouldn't have. And just a lot of wrong weapon choices. I feel like he just could have made some, you know, better weapon preferences in situations.
Yeah, do you think he's going to be at all disappointed with this result?
I think anyone should be happy that they, you know, even made the final. Is it 12 or 16 that's over there right now?
Sounds more like 12 to me.
Yeah, I think it's 12. Anyone that really made the final 12 should be happy with that. And, you know, there is a big skill gap from, you know, you've got your cooler, Cypher, Avic, Strengths, you know, there's a gap between those. I feel there's a gap between sort of the top 5, 6 anyway, so, I mean, even a player like Noctis, you know, I will be surprised if, is it top 6 that he's battling out for right now, that Faz beat him for?
Sorry, say that last line again, sorry.
Is Noctis, yeah, you said that, there was 2 opponents in his group that beat him. Was it Faz, Cypher? Was there any more or not? Isn't there top 3 go ahead?
It was Faz, and it was... It might actually just been Faz. I think it was just Faz. It meant that basically Noctis had to win this one, and then he has to win Cypher to go through. So, if that's what I remember Flash is saying, the Cypher game is what really matters after this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was top 3. I mean, we'll have to get Slasher on.
Yeah,
sort us out here, but yeah, I thought it might have been top 3. Anyway, Noctis taking the first map, 15 of 6, and we will be heading over to DM13 for, I'm guessing, is Toxic's pick. But yeah, I think he's definitely got a chance to take it over Noctis, but he's just got to stay cool tempered, I guess. You know, when he got a little bit of a stack happening straight away, he was like, I'm going to make this a kill, and he probably should have thought about the items a little bit more.
Yep, certainly. Well, we'll see. DM13, more famous than Dismemberant for being a very defensive map. I think yesterday, though, we saw Noctis and Faz. You obviously missed it, but they pretty much held W for the entire game. One of the more aggressive 13s I've ever seen. I think that's a case of teammates, and sorry, Mick.
That's right, yeah, I suppose, you know, with friends you sort of can do that. But here we go into the second map. We'll have a look where everyone spawns. Noctis straight on top of that Mega, and Toxic with the red. So Noctis may even try to... Nah, he doesn't even look at red. He doesn't care about it. Straight away they want to pick up the weapons and artillery to hold the center map.
Yeah, neither player has a rocket launcher at the moment as well, which is what they're actually both trying to battle over. Almost pushing Toxic off that upper platform into the lava, but not quite. Toxic going to pick up that first frag. Quite healthy after that as well. Noctis not connecting with enough, and wow, going to catch him out with shotgun, but not quite as Toxic drops down. 70 health remaining, and of course there is that 50 HP bubble just below him to pick up before that Mega, so he's going to go up to a 200 stack.
Yeah, Noctis Plasma there on the bridge was really good, but then I was looking on Toxic's screen and his LG was 40 in that fight, so you know, it's hard for Noctis' Plasma gun to be as good as it can be and Toxic's Lightning gun to be as good as it can be. The LG is going to win out in a mid-range fight most of the time. Noctis is playing really brave though, you know, straight away on top of Reds. He's playing super aggressive is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, similarly to what we saw yesterday. The problem yesterday was that he got himself into situations where we saw self kills, we saw plasma self kills, we saw just random activity. So, I mean, now off the spawn, he's got that LG in yellow. He's going to have to slow his game down a little bit, getting caught out by Toxic there. Managed to pick up the red as well, actually. A little bit of a mistake by Toxic there, probably to go for that yellow just before the red.
Yeah, getting caught up in the fights and just forgetting about the red. But I mean, Noctis is smart to jump on the red, but I still feel that Noctis needs to hit the brakes a little bit. You know, 3 frags already, we're not even 2 minutes into the game. I mean, DM13 is that type of map where you can play super defensive, and with Toxic's LG, or what it was at the start of the game, you know, I feel like he can be able to hold Noctis away for a long time. But then I saw hits of aggression in Toxic's game, dismemberment, so it could be just another frag fest like dismemberment.
And Noctis not connecting with any of those rockets at the moment. Going to have to find himself some armor. Let's see what he can do as he holds middle map. He doesn't hold middle map. He drops down to the LG yellow, almost catching Toxic out, but hitting those stairs. And I don't know how many people watching the stream play Quake Live, but if you shoot those stairs, depending on where the rocket hits, sometimes it won't do any damage to the player above. So it's always annoying trying to shoot up them. And Toxic should have probably connected with one in that situation as well.
And Rocket versus LG, we've seen this so many times. Can Toxic win out though? He's doing a really nice job of trying to predict the rockets, but then Noctis is doing a supreme job of dodging the rockets. So it's really hard for, you know, someone to have really good aim and then someone to have really good dodging and just meet like that is really spectacular to watch. Toxic losing out on the red again though. Stacks are going to be about even coming into the next fight, and you'd think that Noctis would be able to take it, although he is out of rockets, so he's going to be pushed to take center map and recollect rocket ammo.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any display of defensive play here on 13, it's Toxic's right now with that rocket, but wow, nice attack by Noctis there with the LG from upper level. No allow him to pick up that mega health. I'm not sure why he didn't stick around and perhaps look for the rocket onto Toxic, who was coming out the teleporter.
Noctis has still got no rockets, so
that
may
was
be
why.
a problem for him.
Finally found some ammo, I believe.
And his rockets aren't as good as they could have been, but Toxic 7 health. I mean, wow, just one stray rocket could have splash damaged and killed Toxic there. And now he's lost to armor, so this is once again, you know, Noctis' time to take the frag.
I'm be surprised if he goes for a rocket jump up. No, he's going to play it safe. Take that lower level, doesn't even opt for the shots as he really wants a frag right now.
Yeah,
maybe he was trying to get round to the yellow.
Noctis' movement, it's becoming a little bit, you know, after watching just the first 4 minutes, he takes the same paths to places, and I feel like if Toxic can sort of wait for him to come up that launch pad after he takes the Mega, which he's done most of the game so far, you know, he can deal some extreme damage, but I mean, it's easy from a spectator point of view to see what a player is doing than playing the opponent.
Yeah, certainly. That time Noctis elects to rocket jump up as Toxic was waiting for him by that jump pad. The whole center map again, very important here on Lost World, just to keep control of.
Yeah, and Toxic's done a really good job to stay alive. I mean, considering a minute ago we were saying how he's on 7 health and now he's got 100-100, so... And they're both sort of 100-100. I don't really like the situation that Noctis has put himself in, but Toxic's done a really good job of playing defensive, not giving up frags. And now he's hungry for the Mega. He's not sticking around for it, but he's definitely hungry for it.
Surprised he didn't go in for it, you know. He saw Noctis take it earlier on. Could have got it. He's still going to look to put damage on, but yeah, I just think that could have been his. But wow, air rocket! Should be able to pick up. No, he's not going to go in. I was really hoping for some LG, but he actually had no armor after that little battle, so smart decision by Toxic, and lucky there to go down to Noctis.
Yeah, that was a really good setup there from Toxic, and it's a little bit unfortunate that he didn't feel like he had enough of a stack to go in for the kill over the red, so he didn't really want to risk it, and then he got caught out on the rocket launcher platform. But, you know, he's still 2 frags up, and he knows the time on red, and hopefully Mega, but he's not going to stick around for Mega, as he is still extremely weak from that little spawn incident.
Yeah, Noctis now knows exactly where he is as well, so... Toxic doesn't have that rocket launcher. He has the plasma, and as we've seen in previous times, being the strongest weapon in the game, considering you hit all your shots, can do quite a lot of damage with it. You just have to have that little bit of luck.
Yeah, I love that Toxic. Just he's playing really smart at the moment, and that's why Noctis hasn't really been able to convert frags as easy as he would have liked. And that's what I wanted to see, though. I wanted to see a match like this where Toxic has the lead and he gets the chance to show us what he can play on the defensive foot.
Yeah, it's got to be almost frustrating as well for Noctis, as I'm sure he must have known he had him down at 7 HP earlier on in this game. And while they are going to be in this corridor, Noctis is finally going to pick up another frag. Actually, I think that was a self-kill there as Toxic goes back down to 1 kill here on Lost World. Mega's up in around about 7 seconds. Let's see Toxic drop onto it. Noctis, meanwhile, is waiting on there, actually. Toxic's going to see him at the last possible second. Is he going to come in? No, he's going to spam that plasma. Noctis is going to easily be able to pick that up. Oh, such a ballsy move there from Noctis to just go and wait on it.
Yeah, but I suppose, you know, he's had control for the last three minutes, and it doesn't really matter how much health he's on, because Toxic's never going to know how much HP Noctis is on until he hears the screams of, you know, below 20 or 25 health, whatever it was, I can't really remember, but so yeah, I mean, Noctis is a bit pressed now. He's got red and Mega up at the same time, so it's going to be important to keep Toxic out of the middle of the map. But you can see Toxic, you know, he's got a nice stack and he's feeling confident. I would be in the same sort of position. I'd be looking to come out, and hopefully if he drops down now, he'll see Mega's up, and he is going to see, he hears Noctis at red, and there we go, steals Mega, and now he's hopefully going to have an advantage in the next fight if he can play it smart and not get caught out like that. And there we are, rocket to the face, and his stack's completed.
Yeah, what can you do with 6 armor, really? Now 0 armor. He's really got to hope he doesn't catch out here by Noctis. He's still going to be able to get away, though. Noctis electing not to go straight aggressive, going to take the lower route, maybe pick up their frag. No, nice defensive rocket from Toxic. Noctis going to back off towards that red armor and the 50 HP. Finally get the Mega as well, and it's coming to that time where if he leaves it any longer, he's going to have a very difficult time to pick up any kind of frag.
Oh, and unfortunately there for Toxic, he hit his rocket the second that Noctis got the Mega, so he didn't hear the time. He didn't hear the sound of it as Noctis picked it up, so he stayed around there a little bit too long. He's got to be really careful here because Noctis is right there, and a direct rocket from both players, and Noctis has the stack to survive it. And there we are, second one from him, 1-1, and Toxic will be, you know, I would say he wouldn't be too upset with how he's played so far. He just really hasn't had the confidence to jump back on a big item. And that's been his problem, you know. He's been happy playing the offensive game for too long, and just too much time on the clock. And a very nice trap there, sends Noctis into the lava, doesn't take advantage of the situation. Oh, you know, probably call that a win. If he drops on this red, he could definitely call it a win. Oh, and Noctis' feet was showing, and that's super unfortunate there for Noctis. And he calls good game with 30 seconds left.
Did this yesterday.
Yeah, he was just Toxic had the above view, so he could see the feet, and Noctis couldn't see up and see that he was just watching him. And nice rockets from Toxic to make Noctis rage quit. And yeah, it's going to be hectic for the tiebreaker, and I don't think that Noctis is going to be too happy coming into that map. I think he's going to be feeling really frustrated right now.
I gotta say, I mean, not everyone managed to see the game between Noctis and Faz yesterday, and I don't want to ruin it. But similar situation to that, where Noctis had ample amount of time to get a lucky frag. It wasn't certain, of course, just coming off the spawn, and instead of electing to take that chance, you know, whether it was a 20% chance or even a 1% chance, he decided to just move on to the next map or just quit. So I'm a little bit disappointed there. They're on Hectic now.
Toxic did play really well though, you know, you can't take that away from him, but I really feel like Noctis he got a little bit, his movement, I don't know, I just felt that he was just travelling over the same corridors over and over again, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
he set some nice traps, and the best traps he set were at the 50 HP bubble near the plasma gun. He got 2 frags there, and he probably should have, you know, realised and done that earlier. But putting past aside, we are in the tiebreaker map, Hectic and Railfest. Hopefully we will get to see Noctis getting the red spawn, and Toxic with the yellow and railgun side of the map. So yeah, I mean, pretty even starts for both players. You couldn't really argue, but I think Toxic's already the first person to pick up all the important weapons. So, and look at that, he's hiding over near the railgun, sort of locking that out.
Yeah, well, I know yesterday the score between Noctis and Faz at least was around about 17-1 to Noctis. So if I remember, if that's the game I'm thinking of, I'm sure it was. So I've got to say, I'm hoping Noctis here, but see what happens. Is Mega spawning in a few seconds. And what do you think about that Mega pick, Mick? Because it is sort of a death pick, I feel.
Yeah, it is, and Noctis just showing us why. Then, you know, LG damage, easy, simple rail. You know, it's fairly easy to hit a lot of damage because you've got to either come up the stairs or, you know, make an obvious move to go to the teleporter, so you can predict rockets there. And, you know, I think like the Hank said though, you know, do I leave it and give my opponent the extra 100 health, or do I take it and risk trying to get out of there with as little damage as possible? You know, that's why I love Hectic. It is a crazy map.
Mega's there already. Toxic selecting to actually go for it himself. Going to be able to dodge some of those nades, but look, there's a perfect example of just taking quite a lot of damage. He's actually going to get out of that quite okay, but still taking a lot of damage before this red armor.
Oh, beautiful rockets. Very nice rockets from Toxic. And I did see some of that from his dismemberment game. Not so much. Actually, DM13, he did display it as well. He's got some really good rockets, and LG, when he puts effort into it, I found his LG slacked off a bit, you know, mid and late game of both dismemberment and DM13.
Well, 2 minutes into this one and only 1 frag, not Hectic-esque, but what is probably going to be esque is the fact that we are going to see probably a switch around in a couple more frags where Noctis will eventually be able to get a good spawn off one of these frags, because look, Toxic only 29 HP, there's that spawn. Now we're going to see a couple of frags from Noctis, I hope, 10 seconds until this red armor.
Yeah, I think this map would suit Noctis a little bit more, as he's sort of, you know, a bit of a frag machine, you know, a bit of all-out aggressive, just let's go at it, full guns are blazing, and, you know, he's making some, you know, silly mistakes, I guess, and a few unfortunate things happen during a few fights, and, you know, it goes Toxic's way, and once again frustration builds, and, you know, you just play even more aggressive, and it just keeps happening, and, you know, health bubbles come up at the right time for Toxic, and, you know, everything just sort of goes his way, and you've got a, you know, a 10 frag deficit ahead of you in a couple of minutes. So let's hope that Noctis can turn it around very quickly.
Yeah, 14 HP for Toxic right now, still managing to play very well defensively, only just managing to lose out there to Noctis. And here comes the frag machine. Noctis, he's got a bit of armor to his name, red's up in 5 seconds. If he can get this, I can foresee quite a few more frags coming his way. He is sort of a player that really does excel when he has that stack. We see it a lot in TDM especially, and that's what he's been playing recently, so go Noctis.
Go Noctis, indeed. And, well, we've seen still a relatively slow play Hectic, and there could be more frags, there could be less frags. You know, I've seen it played slower than this, but I'd say this is one of the slower games. Red Mega up around about the same time, but Noctis is fearfully holding centre map. Some nice prediction rockets there, and straight away depletes that 50 HP bubble Toxic was going for. And, you know, right now he's railable. I mean, not now that he picked up the yellow, but he was railable there for a second. And Toxic 200, Noctis 200, 200. If he doesn't push in for a frag and just run away with it, you know, he gets one clean frag and he's just going to run away with it.
Yeah, and just, I mean, even just keeping Toxic low is going to benefit him eventually when he does get an opportunity for that frag. Look, Toxic's still only 62, 77 to 10 now, and finally picking up a 50 in a green, so taking it up a little bit, but still, when you compare it to Noctis' stack, it's going to take 2 fights. Maybe it's going to take 3 fights now after
that was pretty brave of Toxic there to come in on that Mega, especially with Noctis. You know, you can't see who's going to come through the teleporter at what time. All you can do is spam the teleporter, and Noctis knew the time on Mega, the exact time on it. And really, I mean, it's basically offset the red, yellow. Mega's not too important for him, I don't think, for a little while, but offsetting the red and the yellow is going to be very nice, because he's just going to be able to take away full control, and Toxic's going to find it really difficult to contest anything without hitting either supreme rails or some very nice direct rockets. And there we go again, Toxic, you know, hungry for that Mega health, so he just really wants to take that away from his opponent.
Well, what it will mean is that providing Toxic can not take too much damage before this next red armor and stack up on a bit more shards and maybe a green that he's just picked up, he could potentially get in on this red armor with a nicely first place rocket. Can't say I agree too much with the LG choice, but then again, Toxic did run out of rockets, so a bit unfortunate that. I felt that was like a small opportunity for him.
He needs to be utilising the railgun a little bit more. I mean, I don't know how many. Oh, actually, I can check. Actually, I can't check. I can't bring on the scoreboard. But he's only rocking 12% now at the moment on the rail. So if his rail's not that strong, I don't think Hectic was a nice decider for him. But there we go. Hopefully, he displays a little bit more of that.
Yeah, 2 out of 9 shots hit so far for Toxic. 9 out of 18 shots hit for Noctis. So. Is definitely connecting with a few more, but 4 minutes remaining, we are down to a 3 frag difference. Maybe promising, he's starting to hit those rails. I think he might be listening to you, mate. Maybe putting out a little bit more.
That's really what he needs to do, and this is ages away from yellow, so him sitting around in the room isn't a smart move if Noctis comes charging in, and Noctis predicts his movement pretty easily, and look at that. Straight away. Again, it's going to be hard for Toxic to find some health on the map, stay out of sight from a railgun, and collect an armor as well. You know, he's got so much to think about, so much to do, and in the end he just gives away the frag. Pretty helpless at the moment, and Noctis just playing a really nice game on Hectic.
Yeah, certainly. Actually gone for the Mega, which was one of his first in a short while, I believe. Toxic getting in on the others.
There we are, finally hitting some more railguns. I mean, Noctis has pulled back onto that red, but you know, 2 rails and Toxic can be back in this. He did get a railgun spawn. Noctis sort of predicted him moving down to it, but also predicted him moving up to it. So you know, I think Toxic's just got to be a bit more careful. Here we go, railgun versus railgun. Can Toxic do anything with it?
I think it's at that stage now. We're coming up to 2 minutes remaining. There's a 6 frag difference. Toxic's going to have to find that 50 HP, not get hit by a rocket like that. There's 225s for him. But in around about 15 seconds, before this next raid, he's going to have to charge in, pick up a frag, get a decent spawn, a bit of luck behind him, grab that red, and then come on a 5 frag rampage. And if he doesn't do that and he gets taken out again by Noctis like that, then I think it's game over. So now he has to just go aggressive. And that's a good game. My opinion.
Yeah, it could very well be over, and I think Noctis will be a little bit relieved to win that. I mean, he didn't win he didn't beat his opponent very convincingly, and I say Toxic, you know, being one of the lesser players to attend the event, will be pretty happy with at least taking a map. I don't know how much practice he's done for the event, but I would say it would be a little bit, and whatever practice he's done, I guess has paid off, because I remember seeing Toxic before this in the Zotacs, etc., and he never really, you know, made an impact, I guess, you know, in the top 4. Well, that would win the Zotac.
Yeah, I think Toxic first really came into, you know, everybody's eyes at QuakeCon 2009, and since then he's sort of he's at least been able to play with the pros, but you know, never really shine. But if he keeps playing, you never know.
Yeah, and if what game have we got next up?
Well,
Is
look,
there another game straight after, or?
opening ESR now. Break live schedule. Next up is going to be Cypher vs GoLink. Straight away, literally due to start in 1 minute, so roundabout on schedule. And then after that, we got Faz vs Cooler before Faz vs GoLink, so double Faz action. Cypher vs Toxic, Noctis vs Cooler. Okay, that's another game that Noctis has to win. Strengths vs Maddox, Sparty vs ZSX. Oh yeah, ZSX isn't at the event, my bad. Noctis vs Cypher, GoLink vs Cooler, Toxic vs Faz.
Wench just said from the Australian channel, double Faz action, fuck. I think he really enjoys watching Faz, and you know, Faz is an exciting player, and I think that because he beat Noctis, you know, I think that's sort of where he can make his mark. I remember that Sturmy game where he was a little bit unfortunate on T7. I mean, Sturmy played an insane game, but I think Faz was a little bit unfortunate to lose that, and he could have done well. He could have moved on and made a more of an impact last season.
Yeah, I gotta say, Faz is one of those players I constantly underrate. I don't know why. I just do. And every time I watch him play 1v1, he seems to hit, 44 MG, 42 LG. His aim is actually really, really strong. And I guess he just doesn't. He must spam a lot because I don't often see it. But when I do, it just completely obliterates his opponent. That's pretty much what happened against Noctis yesterday. We had the lucky frags between each other, and then when it came to even frags, Faz just outclassed Noctis.
Alright, and are we getting straight into Cypher GoLink trance, or are you just joining on the microphone? No.